So now I'm starting with assignment number 18 and our topic is simple interest. Now what is simple interest? Let's understand this with a very simple example. Let's say you take a loan of 1,000 rupees from the bank and you have to pay back that 1,000 rupees in 2 years' time. The bank is definitely going to charge you some amount of money for taking that loan. Now, how do we go about it? The amount of money that you have taken from the bank will be called your principal. I'm writing in short, P, principal. The time that is given for the repayment, that's 2 years, will be considered to be your time, and 10% is the rate of interest. So I consider that to be R. Now we know the principal, we know the time, and we know the rate. So how much are you going to pay extra to the bank? So we find that out through this formula, which says simple interest is equal to principal multiplied by rate multiplied by time divided by 100. Important for you to know the formula. So our simple interest, or we simply write it as interest I, will be equal to principal, according to the question, was 1,000 multiplied by rate, that is 10, multiplied by time, which is 2 years, divided by 100. So if you calculate that, you get 2 zeros and 2 zeros gone here. 10 tens are 100, 100 twos are 200. So what you are doing is you are paying 200 rupees extra to the bank. The first thing is pay the 1,000 rupees plus 200 rupees extra. So now we come to another formula here, which says A is equal to P plus I. Amount is equal to principal plus interest. What is the amount? Amount means whatever amount you have taken as loan plus the interest that you are going to pay. So the amount in this case will be principal, according to this, was 1,000 plus interest we calculated as 200. So the amount you are going to pay will be 1,200. So you have taken 1,000 rupees and 200 rupees was the extra amount that you have to pay to the bank, which means you are going to pay a total amount of 1,200 rupees to the bank. Now there are many other formulas. Okay, this was our first formula. Interest is equal to P into R into T upon 100, or we simply write it as PRT upon 100. Now from the same formula, we can come across many of these formulas where we can find the principal directly. If you know the interest into 100 multiplied by rate multiplied by time. Rate will be interest multiplied by 100 divided by principal multiplied by time, and time will be interest multiplied by 100 divided by P into R. So these formulas you will have to know. It has to be in the tip of your tongue. Let's take one example from here. Find the simple interest and the amount. There are two things to find out on 150 for 4 years at 5% per annum. So first I take interest. Interest formula is principal into rate into time upon 100. So what's the principal? Principal, according to the question, is 150 rupees multiplied by rate is 5%, multiplied by time is given as 4 years, divided by 100. 1 0 and 1 0 1 here. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10 and 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, which means we have 15 into 2, which is 30. So 30 rupees is the interest. Now I also have to find, I can write rupees 30 as my interest, and finally I find the amount. Amount is principal plus the interest. So principal, according to the question, is 150 rupees plus the interest was 30 that we got from here. So the amount you have to pay back to the bank is 180 rupees.